we're going to practice our chromatic scale on B flat, starting on the lower B flat, going up 1 octave and back. Sounds like this. I'll take you through it one note at a time. Starting on the B flat, the note that we know so well at this point. From B flat, the next note is B natural. The only thing we do to play B natural from B flat is move our right index finger up. B flat, B natural. Play B flat to B natural with me a couple times. Let's do a measure of eighth notes. B flat, B natural, B flat, B natural with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. B natural to C, another note that we know. The only difference from B natural to C is lifting up the thumb. B natural, C. Let's do the same exercise. One measure of eighth notes between B natural and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next note, C to C sharp. C sharp is also called D flat. It's the same note with two different names, but in this case, since we're going up, we're going to call it C sharp. C to C sharp. C to C sharp. We're only lifting up our left index finger. Let's do the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. C sharp to D. D is another note that we know. C sharp to D. It's a lot of fingers to cover, from 1 to very many. But again, as a refresher, D is index finger up in the left hand, middle finger down, ring finger down, thumb down, first finger down in the right hand, second finger down in the right hand, third finger down in the right hand, no pinky. D. 1, 2, 3, 4. This interval might take a little bit of practice because unlike some where we're just lifting one finger, this one has us lifting and closing many. So it takes a little bit more work, but stick with it. D to D sharp or E flat. It's the same, again, the same note, two different names, D sharp and E flat. So we have D, and the only thing we do is add on our pinky in the right hand. D, D sharp, D, D sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. D sharp to E. E is a new note. It's fingered just like F, but with one more finger down. So all three, index, middle, ring finger in the left hand, thumb, first finger in the right hand, middle finger in the right hand, pinky down is E. D sharp, E. D sharp, E. D sharp, E. This one might also be a little tricky because it's a new note and it involves moving two fingers. But stick with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. E to F. F is another familiar note, and it's quite easy. E, lift up your middle finger in the right hand. F. E, F. 1, 2, 3, 4. About halfway there. From F, we go to F sharp, which is also G flat, but for our purposes going up, we're going to call it F sharp. Same fingering, different names. G flat, F sharp. F, F sharp. The only difference is that instead of our index finger being down, our ring finger is down, and the index finger comes up. F, F sharp. F, F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. From F sharp, we go to G, another familiar note. So the only difference between these two notes is that we lift up our ring finger in the right hand. F sharp, G. F sharp, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. From G, we go to G sharp or A flat. Same fingering, two different names. G, we know. G sharp, just add this funky key in the pinky on the left hand. G, G sharp, G, G sharp. Another one that's somewhat easy because we're only using one finger. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. G sharp to A, another familiar note. We know A, the only difference between G sharp and A is that we lift up our ring finger and pinky in the left hand. G sharp, A. G sharp, A. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're almost there. We have one more note. Now from A, we go to B flat, and these are two very familiar notes, which we already know. A to B flat, to A, to B flat, the top two notes of our B flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, we've made it all the way to the top, one whole octave of the chromatic scale. To practice going down, it's very similar. I recommend looking at your fingering chart, refresh yourselves with the fingerings, and slowly go back down the scale. It might do some good to practice just ascending for a while so that you become familiar with the pattern. The way I learned a chromatic scale was just by looking at a fingering chart and memorizing what it felt like in my fingers to move from one note to the next. It's really the easiest way to memorize the pattern. You must understand what it means and what the notes are, but in terms of ease of playing and understanding and actually playing the chromatic scale, memorizing the notes from one to the next is really the key. Now that we've gone through the entire one octave of the B flat chromatic scale, one note at a time, we're going to put it all together and play all of the notes from low B flat to high B flat. Play together and each note will get one half note. I'll count off 4 beats and then we'll play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now just for fun, we're going to go back down. I'm going to skip describing all of the fingerings because we did that on the way up, but it's the exact opposite. Like we play a B flat major scale and we start from the top and work down. It's the same concept. So the same fingerings, but in reverse order. Let's start on a high B flat and work our way down to a low B flat together. I'll count off 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's so much you can do with chromatic scales, and the flute has such a crazy range. I just added on an entire other octave to the B flat. That was the same scale, but even higher. So go for it, challenge yourself, and learn the rest of those notes. And you'll be on your way in no time.